Okay, it always surprises me when my battery runs down on my camera, and even when I look at it, it still surprises me. So anyway, what I did was I used 4 petals here. I popped the second layer up. I printed this on my computer. You hold the key to my, and then to my heart. This is one of Tim Holtz's embellishments, and I also used his paint. I used the Victorian velvet paint on it, and I just kind of dabbed it all over it. You know, it comes with a dabber top, and I just scribbled it all over there and let it set for about 10 seconds so it could soak into the crevices, and then I wiped off lightly so that it stayed in the crevices. And I did the same thing with this key. This is also came from Michaels. It was just in one of their little dollar bins. So, you know, you always want to be on the lookout for embellishments you can use. So I inked around this with the pumice stone, but it was a little bit too light to do the edges, so I got my Memento gray flannel out, and I did the edges with the gray flannel. And I also stamped my stitches with the gray flannel. And I didn't want black because I wanted this to be a softer piece. But this background, first, before I did anything else, I slathered on this background. It's my DecoArt Texture Crackle, and it's in the light mocha flavor. And I just took my palette knife and just spread it all over there. And then I heated it from behind to help hurry up with the cracking and the drying. It didn't take very long at all. And then I took my pumice stone and I rubbed over it to bring out the cracks. And then I also, I don't know if you can see in there that there is some little detail. I got this Heidi Swapp stamp, again at Michaels, and it was on clearance for 50% off. And it's this nice, let me see if I can get out a piece of white paper so that you can kind of see really what this is. Here. So it's just a background stamp of arrows. So I stamped that in the pumice stone, and you can just barely see it. So it's just a very little bit of a shadow background. So that's that one. And you know, these things only take a few minutes, maybe 15 or 20 minutes at the most, but without including drying time on that one. They really don't take long at all. And you can have something that's really cute and that you can sell or that you can give, and people will really appreciate what you've given them. And so here's the last one that I wanted to share with you. And this is not using the petal die, but it's using, this is an older one, a Movers and Shapers with the mini sewing room set, and with the when I get on camera I can't think of what I want to say. With the dress form and the spool thread. So what I did for this one is a really cheap frame. It's just a black plastic frame, and I took out let me show you how it comes. I got a set of these. There's a set of 3. And they come like this from Michaels, and they have some mats and stuff in them and some glass. And I took out the mats, and I also took out the glass, and I'll use that for like a palette for my Genesis paints or something later. And because I wanted to make it dimensional so the glass won't fit back on here. And it's just really it's plastic, it's lightweight, it'll hang anywhere. Or there is a thing here that if you take it off, you can use it, and I'm not even sure how you use it, but anyway, it's a stand, so you can make it stand. Well, okay, it's like that, but since I have this at the top, then that won't work. But if I wanted to stand it up, okay, I got it. So I can stand it up that way, but if I wanted to do it with this one, then I'd have to turn it upside down. So anyway, there's that. No, this little sticker keeps wanting to come off. So I used some from the Crowded Attic. Again, the paper from Crowded Attic, and that is like a tape measure. And I also used my mini cabinet die. And so right here is the little movers and shapers, dress form and thread. And what I did for the dress form is I cut it out twice. I cut it out once from paper and once from Tim Holtz's fabric. So this fabric is the exact same pattern as the paper is. And so I cut it out of the fabric, and then I cut the stand off and glued it over top, so that would be the dress on the form, and I did it there too. And I also used the craft burlap ribbon, and then I tied a little button onto the waist, and I put a stick pin in here. And this is from also some of the Crowded Attic paper, and I just cut around here, and I inked it with gathered twigs and with walnut stain. And then around the edge of the paper, and also around the edge of this tape, which is also this roller tape that you can get that Tim Holtz puts out. And I used a glue stick to stick that on there and kind of give it a little, also some dimension. And I put both of the brown inks and the black soot on here and around the edge. And then let's see, I had some gold buttons. I have a bunch of gold buttons, and I got those, and got some other old and broken buttons, and that's where I got this one from. Got a bunch of stick pins. And then this, you know, I have some thickers. These are letters that are thicker. And, you know, I had these for a long time, and I hadn't used them. And I thought, you know, let me see if I can use them. And this turned out to be bigger than I wanted it to be. But, you know, I spread it out, and then I inked over it with the gathered twigs to kind of cut down on the whiteness and on the brightness of that red. And what it really did was it played up my red places that are here in the paper and in the fabric. So I really thought those turned out really nice. And then I stamped in love. I wanted to put the thickers sewn in love, but they're too big, so I just did it with this and made this kind of a highlight, and then stamped that. And what I used was, you know, I've had this for a long time, and I found a way to stamp the My Heart is in Art, and, you know, I just kind of, you know, sometimes you have to cut up your stamps to get the letter that you want. And so what I did with this one is I cut off the bottom part that said, you know, this says "Love You Dearly," but I cut it off because all I wanted was the love part. And I'll be able to use that stamp, you know, with fully another time, but this time I was able to use it with love without having to worry about taping off the dearly and you dearly and all of that. So it just made it a lot easier. And so that's my sentiment. And whoops. So I really had a lot of fun making this one too. Well, that's okay. There we go. A little something from somewhere. So that's the fun that I've been having today. I started at about, let's say maybe 1:30, and it is now 7:45, and I finished and started cleaning up at about 6:30. So about 5 hours. I cut out all of these things for my home decor, and I have 4 items of home decor, and I had a day full of fun. So I hope you enjoy these, and I hope that you would try your hand at the same thing. And have a good week. Bye.